Innocent until proven guilty, I heard the Home Secretary say. Our judicial system is the best in the world, still the most respected today. It's an adversarial system where the best argument wins. We have to maintain law and order, what with all our political spins. Sometimes we have to persuade a jury that a defendant is legally sane, and the prosecution will psychobabble to keep it all simple and plain. We have a much safer system now with our technological tricks. Lord Lane added my sentiments too. Don't forget the Birmingham Six.
They treat him as a prisoner and, as I say, more or less repeating the same day all his life. And when he goes to the appeal court and is put out in the street, there's none of this ready for him. Nobody sits back and says, well, we'll have to give him a 6 months preparation for release or a year preparation for release. Effectively, he's taken with these bags and dumped in the street and saying, get on with it.
They threw me out with no money. Right, I stood outside Kirkham prison with no money in my pocket, right, in a plastic bag, right, and they didn't even give me a train ticket.
Since the release, there's been nothing, no help, no assistance. Just dumped, effectively dumped.
Sometimes, you know, you wake up and say, right, you know, where do I turn from here, you know? What help is out there, so, you know? And I remember going to the criminal justice section, and they turned and said, well, we can't do anything for you because you're no longer in the criminal justice section, even though you spent 25 years in prison, which is connected to the criminal justice section.
The only thing in your head is to prove your innocence and get released. And then you come out and within a short space of time, you don't even realise what's wrong with you because you don't fit in out here. When they throw us out at the Court of Appeal, they throw us out in the street and they expect us to get on with life, live like normal people outside. What's normal out here is not normal in prison.
The Miscarriages of Justice Organisation, founded by Paddy, both in England and in Scotland. It's a human rights charity. It's non-political. And basically our remit is to assist and help with advocacy for people that are inside, i.e. if they've not got a lawyer, if they need forensic experts, if they need to raise a profile of their case, we'll try and get the media interested in their cases. And also we'll help the campaigns, you know, so as they don't make the mistakes, so they can move quicker than when they just start out. So we're sort of a continuity for people who are still inside. And the other remit is to help people who have come out of prison after winning their appeal. As you'll probably hear, they just get dumped and thrown out.
It's usually about somewhere in the region of 6 months or more after you've been released that you start getting your problem, or rather that you start realising that you've got problems.
Anger, frustration, sorrow, disorientation, too many things pulling me in too many different directions.
Once the excitement of coming out and all that particular issues have gone, suddenly it hits them and they become chronically depressed, suicidal, and can't understand what's going wrong with it. But they're just not prepared for going out, so they haven't got their mindset for going out. And the problem is, if you're having a good time, why are you now having a bad time?
I came out here once my mother died, that was it. And I knew that when my mother died that it was going to happen, that I was going to go mad and just blast the pain away, numb myself with narcotics, and don't even feel or see or hear nothing.
Intimidation, fear, anxiety, stress, slight paranoia, which I managed to control it a bit, you know.
They might as well take us and put us in one of them fucking spaceships and send us to Mars. Because, be honest with you, we'd probably cope better on Mars than we do out here, the way they throw us out. Because it's just, the more, when you come out, everything's on top of you. The pace of living has accelerated so much than it used to be in the old days. Everything is speeded up so much. And you come out and mentally you're not equipped to deal with any of this. And for so many of us, the more we see, the more confused we get. We can't handle it. And the more that so many of us end up, we want to fucking run away. And you'll find that so many people that come out after a while, they start hiding themselves at home.
I've come across people who've come out of prison, gone into the street, heard the traffic and run straight into their house, shut the door, pulled the bed over and literally made themselves an own segregation room within the house. It's an agoraphobic reaction, which is very common.
I would sit in my flat sometimes and wait for a certain time at night when it was quiet. You know, to nip down to Chinese or something, because I knew it'd be dead quiet, but they'd be in, straight in, straight back out again, come upstairs. You know, I'd choose my time to go and shop in my supermarket. First opened, Sunday, nobody in it, you know.
I'm not a gambling man, but if I was, without any fear of doubt, I would bet that I have shed more tears since I came out of prison than I did when I was in. You're out here and you'd be walking down the street even, and for no reason at all, suddenly, even though you'd be in a crowd of people, it's like being on a desert island on your own. You're so lonely. You just bust into tears for nothing. I've been in shops, gone into a shop to get something, and the mind just goes blank. And something will just pop into your mind for no reason at all. And you'd be standing there like in a trance. And next thing you realise is the tears are running down your cheeks, dropping onto the floor, and you don't even know you're crying.
What happens is when you're actually going through the stressful situation, you bottle up your emotions, you clamp them down, you manage them in some kind of repressive kind of way, so they don't actually emerge. And it's when you relax that they suddenly come out. It's when you suddenly sit down and have that cup of tea that the panic suddenly sets in, that the tears suddenly come, that the unhappiness you felt in the prisons which you couldn't express suddenly comes out. And it's all the feelings that you should have had when you were in prison but weren't allowed to have, which then come out in this episodes.
If something is sad, and I recognise it as sad or sorry, to let a tear out is going to let a flood out. You know what I'm talking about? If I do cry, it'll be breakdown and sob.
To be alone the way I was, I wouldn't wish that upon anybody. Locked in a little 7-foot fucking cell.
I tell people the system doesn't seem to have any shortage of money when it comes to torturing and framing us and putting us in prison and keeping us in prison. The average time that I spent in prison was costing the system somewhere in the region of £1,000 per week. Overall, from day one to the end. an average of about £1,000 a week to keep us in prison. And when we come out, if you go down to the dole office, you have to beg and fucking rant and rave like a lunatic to get £50 off them. And I get very, very angry about that because I say they don't have any shortage of fucking money keeping us in the jail. But when we get released, they seem to have a shortage of everything, including memory. And they don't even recognise us. We are not thought about when they throw us out in the street. In fact, the opposite. The system would love us to go away and just die.
Every time I sought help, I got less help. You know what I'm talking about? Every time I sought help, I get something that was taken away from me, making it even more difficult. It's as if their philosophy is the more hurdles they put in your way, the less trouble you'll be, because you're going to end up back in prison, and it's easier to deal with you while you're in prison.
They've done nothing. They've treated us all with contempt, all of us with contempt. They've never tried to help.
They just did not want to know. From the basic social work council offices locally to a big meeting round the table with the deputy or someone, or one of the heads of the criminal justice section, and then one of the hierarchies to the benefit agency. You know, it was John Swinney who intervened as well. You know, the MP, the SMP in it, and tried to pull all sorts of situations together to try and look. This man is a refugee in his own country. This man is not getting help.
If the help was there in the first place, I don't think I would have went through half the problems that I have gone through. Right, if the system had set up a through care programme for me as an innocent man.
If somebody's a miscarriage of justice, the very least they can do for them, the very least they can do is what they would do for other long-term prisoners, right? There should be somewhere they can go, a fixed place where they can go, they maybe learn computer skills, and be around people who have been through it themselves.
My main concern at the moment is that people get help, and not only just in respect of, as John said, of cases where they're in prison and families and what have you, but more importantly when we come out, that is the thing that I'd like to see set up, some sort of retreat where we can go and have some sort of help, proper counselling, counselling by people who know what they're talking about, and not a bunch of assholes who're sitting there with a degree who know nothing about prisons or the effects of prisons.
Now all the stories have been told, the damage has been done. There was no victory at the Court of Appeal. There was nothing to be won. A recent verdict at the Court of Appeal, a verdict that makes me ill, rendered our life less meaningless than a bed and breakfast bill.
Unfortunately, so many people outside have this wonderful idea how wonderful and beautiful the British judicial system is. And I keep telling people it's only when you get caught up on it wrongly that you will realise that the system is rotten. The system is wonderful in relation to guilty people, but for innocent people it's a nightmare, and when you get caught up in it, so many of us think that the system is good and it'll put itself right. And by the time you're waking up and realise it's not going to happen, for most of us, unfortunately, it's too late. We're already convicted.